Hello fellow transients, and today I would like to do a quick little video about when they call you sir. Now, this can be something that can be quite disturbing to you for a trans person to go through this. Now, whether you're a trans man or a trans woman, when someone calls you by the opposite gender of what you want to be called, it can be very upsetting, especially if you are doing it full time. Now, speaking from experience, I can tell you that this is something that can be very upsetting. Let's say you've spent an entire day of doing makeup, maybe hours in front of the mirror, or spent an entire day not only doing makeup but choosing your wardrobe, put it together, and you finally get to leave the house and go out. And what happens? Maybe you say you go to a restaurant and you order your food and you're waiting for it, and when it's done they bring it to you and they say, "Here you go, sir." Now this can be very upsetting. Let's say you're at work, it's your first day, your new day, and the new boss comes up to you and hands you something and says, "Here you go, sir," or just something of this nature. This can be very, very, very upsetting. Now, what can we do about it? I mean, you can blow it off. There's a lot of things that you can do. But please don't freak out on these people, because they probably are just trying to be nice. You know, they don't know. Maybe they don't know you're trans. Maybe they do. So, I've often thought, I just want to call them, sir. If it's a woman and she calls me sir, I just want to be like, "Okay, thank you, sir." Or, hand it back to her and go, "Here you go, sir." There's a lot of different things that I've thought about doing to these people physically. Hurting them comes to my mind, but I won't do that. A lot of things, you just want to scream and you want to freak out, and be like, "Oh my God, I want to strangle you," but, unfortunately we can't do that. So what to do when they call you sir? This can be very upsetting, especially if you're in the beginning of your transition and you are still trying to get rid of facial hair. Maybe you haven't had time, or you can't afford electrolysis, or maybe you haven't even got a chance to do home electrolysis. Do it yourself with the one-touch system that TS Roadmap goes on and on about. Maybe you haven't had time to do that, so this can be quite an issue, and it can even cost you your job. That's why I think it's very important for trans women to go through electrolysis before you go full-time, because you don't want to end up like me. Now, as far as facial hair goes, if you're a guy and you're like wanting facial hair and you feel bad, then those type of people will be jealous of me, because see, I was one of those people that was cursed to have really good facial hair. I get it from my father and all of them, and as we get older, the facial hair gets thicker and more defined. It's very coarse, and since I started transitioning, I shave hardcore, double shave, three times in one day. Sometimes I've overshaved. My neck will get so messed up that there's been times where I've had to go several days without shaving just to let it heal. Razors, oh my God, electric razors are a nightmare. Pretty much all razors have proven to be a nightmare except for a few, and they're real expensive. So I recommend getting electrolysis immediately if you're going to do transition. Now back to what I was talking about. Let's say it's, Thanksgiving Day and you're going out with the family and you decided to dress up and you go to order your food and they bring it to you and they say, "Here you go, sir." Now this can be very upsetting, and they don't know you're trans, so what are we supposed to do? And you'll probably never see that person again, ever, to get the chance to tell them, that you were offended. Now, you can try to educate them, try your damnedest to try and educate these people and explain to them that, what they did, you know, upset you or was wrong, and tell them, let them know why. Try to educate some people. Try to get it out there. I mean, the word transgender needs to be taught to people. People need to understand what transgender is. So, you know, when people come out to their exes or their loved ones or maybe their wives, and if they say they are going to transition to female, so that these other people know what that is and what it means. Okay, so anyway, I've got to go, but I promise to make another video ASAP. Alright, so toodles.